Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle paper review of Record Mirror, August 21st, 1976, 12 pence. Oh, and plus disc. It always had a very tiny plus disc. Now, I didn't buy that many record mirrors. I used to read them quite regularly. I'd go to the shops and read through them, along with Sounds and all of the other papers that were available. And it's got the New Seekers on the front. I quite like some of the songs. Not everyone's favourites, of course. Uriah Heep as well, pretty good as well. Dr. Hook, and let's just go through the charts. And the reason I've chosen this, I've got the obviously paper here, I'm just going to go through that as well. I just want to quickly show you what was in the charts at the time. You can see there, let's just go through the British top 50 singles, and you can see Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Of course, number one in the US was Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and this was, of course, in the summer heatwave. This was the sizzling summer 1976 heatwave. Of course, nowadays we've got 40 degrees temperatures, but at the same time, it was pretty hot. I remember it being pretty sizzling, and, well, I love that. US top 50 albums and British top 50 albums. Now, there were some pretty good ones there. Beach Boys, remember getting that album, 20 Golden Greats. Demis Roussos. I was not a mega fan of Demis Roussos, but of course this was just really before the punk period, and I don't think there's any punk songs in this list at all. I might be completely wrong, but I love the fact they would have this UK Disco Top 20, UK Soul Top 20 as well. Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. Of course, there was a bit of an overlap there. It's also in the disco with them as well. Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel, Tavares, of course, Bee Gees, the KC and Sunshine Band. Many great songs, many ones that are still played and I quite often dance to at my various Zumba classes. Just love these ones. And also I love these ones. 15 years ago, 10 years ago and 5 years ago. I was always fascinated by that. Just seeing, of course, lots of this music just didn't, obviously the Beatles were really quite out of sight, out of mind for me at that point. So it's great to see him here. And this one, of course, 10 years ago, Yellow Submarine, With a Girl Like You, God Only Knows, of course, Beach Boys. But of course, you've got the, like I said, the albums there. Beach Boys, they got that one. And Carpenters, the Eagles, their greatest hits, I should say. The best of Gladys. There's quite a lot of best of, wasn't it? But there's definitely no... Oh, Beatle tapes. I wonder what that was, the Beatle tapes. That's very strange. Anyway, maybe it was Polydor. Anyway, not really certain. Tubular Bells, God, that was in the charts forever. And on the back, you've got, of course, Poster, or Treat Yourself. And there's some great little posters there. No, I didn't get any of those, but you've got here some, of course, Roger Dean ones as well. I imagine they're super wonderful to get. Absolutely lovely. Roger Dean, Pan's People, you had Alex Harvey, and of course you've got all the posters there. How much were they, I wonder? All posters in colour, postage and packaging, one poster, add 25 pence, etc., etc. Oh, 55 pence, 85 pence. There was a variety of different prices, obviously different sizes. So you got those. But the actual paper itself, so I was more of Sounds, and I've got a copy here which I'll just quickly show as well. But I love these. There was always things that would... Now, some of the information that was included here, I don't know if it actually happened because they obviously the details were released, and sometimes you think, did they do that? There was like mention about various films that they were going to make, and you think, was there a film called that, or did they ever make it? Who knows? So you got that, and this one's quite a nice condition. And I was really pleased to get this one because I've been collecting a few odd papers and things around that period, 1976, and I was, saw that and I thought, oh, let's get a copy of that. It was really, really nice and cheap. And you got here Finders Seekers, of course, the New Seekers there. I love that. And the fans have found the reformed New Seekers better than the old band. Now, better than the old band? You mean the Seekers? The old Seekers? I don't know. It's just very odd because I must admit the Seekers produced some really great music. I loved the Seekers. I don't think the New Seekers produced as many classic songs as the old Seekers anytime. But still, I'm certain people will argue on that one. They've got here Midland Bank. So you've got the Midland Explore some alternative to opening a bank account. And then you've got also Elton Takes a Liberty. And this is quite an odd one. And the paper falls apart on me. That's always the way. Whenever you open paper, because of course there was no staples or anything, you got this one, which is Winfried Strikes Gold. And you got the Hollywood musical, Hollywood Lullaby. I think that was one there as well. And also you've got singles, so you've got a list of all the singles. Now he's got here Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller Band, Santana, Dance, Sister Dance. And they're always quite good. Quite often they mention lots of singles you think, crumbs, I've never heard that track, or maybe a track that I heard years and years ago, and quite often it's nice to go and listen to again. And then you've got Dr. Hook here. And then you've got this, which I always think, disco scene. Oh, that's quite good. You've got all the various jingles, equipment for sale as well. So you've got rosettes, you've got all the various new models, obviously mono stereo units, £35. It says silly summer sale, and you've obviously got all the various equipment there. And also Disco Kids, Rebel Rumpus, Benson Breezes in, obviously some details there on that. And then albums, Pilot, Morin Heights. That I must admit completely lost me. I remember Pilot, but I don't remember that album at all. Chris Christopherson. So you've got all those. And also you've got Deaf School, Deaf School, I remember them. John G. Perry, Bobby Womack, Hot Legs. I must admit that one, can't remember Hot Legs. Sort of familiar, but I'm not so certain. Johnny's No Stranger. You've got quite a soul and disco in this. Maybe that's the reason why I probably went for Sounds more than, because Sounds felt like it had more sort of punk later. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. That was an impression. That's what I remember it as. Always, of course, had loads and loads of these sort of tapes. Sound improved. Most of them all, unfortunately, all screwed up as they would all get crunched up. None in my hometown. I was quite surprised when I was looking through this list. You've got here London. You've got London, obviously, Dingwalls. You've got all the various places. Does that still exist? I don't think so. I'm quite certain it doesn't. Also, Fine and Dandy. That is Black Oak, Arkansas. Apparently in Amsterdam. And also you've got the T-shirts. I love the T-shirts. Got here Uriah Heep again. Obviously Uriah Heep was pretty big at that point. Sparks. Wow, they're still going. Always amazing Sparks. Just Rod Stewart. You've got David Bowie, Status Quo, and many others there. And then you've got some mailmen. I always love the letters. Letters page is always great. Star Letter wins. £3 record token. Wow, that was quite a bit. Record Mirror Crossword. Don't think I ever did that, but still. And you've got small ads at the back as well, which is always good. And then you've got a little bit of Rod Stewart. And also, which is very nice, you've got these lovely little cartoons. I don't know if they've ever been collected into, I think, obviously for comic book fans there. You've got some Torpo Pop or something, Jedward, Oliver, and so on. So that's the Record Mirror. It was quite a good little paper. At the same time, I just think, quite often when you go through all these papers, you quite often end up with flakes all over you because it all just falls apart. It's obviously it's quite a few years now. I mean, we're talking 24, 40, 47 years ago. It's quite a while. So they're obviously, but this one, words, I remember getting lots of these ones and they're quite odd. People probably look at this and think, why? Why would you want a magazine like this now? Well, true, why would I want it now? Because of course you can get all the lyrics online. And that's the thing. But I find actually some of these are quite good because they got the lyrics, yes. And you've got here some of the songs I'm not particularly familiar with. And you've got obviously the index there. But you've also got Boston Tea Party, Boys Are Back in Town, of course, a classic. You've got the lyrics there, which I suppose was great because sometimes the thing is, and certainly because I was singing in the choir and I think, oh, was that what was said? There's so many songs that over the years I've been singing completely wrong because I think, oh, that must be, and then you realise, nope, that wasn't what was actually said in the song. And of course, the lyrics are here. I assume these obviously are super correct. And also you've got here Silk. Remember Silk? And again, no references at all. I don't think there's any reference in any of these so far of any punk ones. So clearly that was all sort of in the background for these magazines and papers. Maybe in Zigzag. I'm certain those sort of ones probably must have mentioned things like Damned and Sex Pistols, I guess. But you got here, can't even make that work. Round Sounds, I assume, obviously it says there, Cassette Corner. You've got various things, Keith Emerson, Cliff Richards there, and also you've got some, obviously, but it's nice to see the sort of details of various things. And also got like Rolling Stones, new LP from the Rolling Stones, Black and Blue, remember that? Motley mix of styles with everything given some bright new look. No way one can one dismiss, etc., etc. And you've got Smokey, you've got Tony Christie's new LP, I'm Not in Love. Hang on, wasn't that 10cc? Oh, his super title track was, of course, 10cc's top thing. Single Spinners, and you've got obviously details of various singles that, Silver Convention, I remember them, but many of those, New Edition, I remember them. Maxine Nightingale, can't remember, must admit, Maxine, but I love that you've got competition there as well. And you also got David Essex on tour. And probably the reason why I got this, Tina Charles, one of my favourites. I love Tina Charles. Tina Charles was absolutely great. I think he's even got lyrics of some, maybe he hasn't, Tina Charles. And you got obviously the Who on the back. And there is Disco 45 Songbook, another one that was 10p. Actually, this one was 10p as well. Same sort of time, July 1976. Unfortunately, this one, for some weird reason, doesn't put the actual 1976. I think this is 1976. Quite certain by the songs and everything listed in it that it's around about that sort of period. You're seeing, you've got all the various, far more colourful, this magazine, and obviously Top Pops. It's got, again, lots of details about all the various things. You Belong to Me, Gary Glitter, and Cliff Richards, and Glitter Band. They're everywhere, obviously, those, Guys and Dolls, Steve Harley. You got From Your Editor, etc. It doesn't, again, for some weird reason, yes, it says 1976, but I'm not certain if it is actually during the middle of the year. Possibly it was around that time. And Tina Charles. Strange that. My favourite. I loved lots. She did so many great songs, and I'm always sad that there's not like more material of Tina Charles now. There seems to be just a certain. There's never been any box set of Tina Charles, which is very odd. I'm certain I would buy it instantaneously if it came out. Sounds. EC was here and there. And which I wouldn't say that's the. I love that picture there. That's really not exactly where you want to be at a concert, particularly in that water. Must have been great fun at the time, but I'm thinking a bit risky potentially for certain, especially with all that electrical equipment around. But still, I don't think that would really go on nowadays, would it? I think people would say that concert was going to be called off. Nazareth joins Textiles, tax exiles even. No UK gigs for a year. And Zepp's live LP soon, it says here. Don't know what that. Their live album. And you've got there. Oh, Cliff Richards again. Good old Cliff. I'm off for a frolic, it says there. And I don't know if John Peel. Oh, right, lovely. So John Peel, I love John Peel. Listen to John Peel all the time. It was like 10 o'clock at night and you sort of like listen to, taped all those ones, as everyone did back then. You'd sort of have them cassette, of course you over. And I think, oh, why didn't I keep some of them as well? But still, what can you do? There were so many great songs he played. It was just like endless. All those, you'd have all sort of these really obscure bands that would play, and you'd sort of think, wow, I must go and find their records. And it was just absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Teenage Kicks comes to mind. But Crystal Voyagers and many, many others. And these papers, like I said, this is 1976, same, August 7th, 1976, strange enough. And again, you've got the American charts, so you had... I love these papers. It was so much easier when you didn't have to actually show them on the screen, isn't it? British singles, alternative charts. Oh, so yes, actually you can see it was starting to kick in. Punk sort of Shakin' Stevens. Not certain Shakin' Stevens was classified as punk, but still. Well, they're not really punk. But you got the 101ers. Wow, I got that one. Key to Your Heart. Also, Speedball EP, I bought that one. Count Bishop. And also you got Eddie and Hot Rods, Patti Smith, I love it, Gloria, just classic. And also the albums, so you've got MC5, you've got Modern Lovers, absolutely great, Ramones, of course, superb, so many great, Jimi Hendrix, weird, in alternative charts. But also you've got American Sound Playlist. Oh, playlist, isn't it nice that they've got play? Obviously a common word even back in the 1970s there. I've completely forgotten about that. But you've got here, other ones here, some, I don't know, lots of details there. Various, I can't show that unfortunately. Just right down the bottom, some lovely selection of. And you've got the Beach Boys, of course, Johnny Holt. I loved all the adverts. The adverts were great. I always enjoyed, but also the various singles as well. Again, long list of all the singles. And I guess there's probably some punk. Oh, AC/DC there, Jailbreak. Oh, I remember that. Detroit Spinners. And many others. Any other ones that are famous that I sort of vaguely remember now? Bebop Deluxe, Mungo Jerry. Oh wow, Mungo Jerry was Jonathan King. Oh, Mississippi. What if that was the Pussycat version? No idea. I didn't realise that was the version was done there. And so on. So you've got lots of these ones, and I love all the various. Charisma Perspective, Super Value Record Series, and this one is Rare Bird Sympathy. Capability Brown, I can't remember them. Liar, CS5. Commander Cody and the Lost playing, and so on. There's loads and loads of these ones. Lots and lots of different ones. And of course, there's always with these papers. They always had these as well, the back. Love this one. Ooh, White Witch Records, bargain LPs by post. Wow. Bizarre Records, rock on. So you've got some great adverts there. And I always preferred this. This was always my favourite paper. Oh, I wonder if there's any concert. No. For some weird reason. Didn't we have any concerts in Maidstone? That is very strange. Shakin' Stevens. Wow. Concert there as well. Saturday night at the bars. Wherever that was. No idea. Todd Help Us. Obviously, Todd Runnington. Yep. Letters there. And more, the hits don't keep coming. Oh, I mean, he was brilliant. Good old Mike Nesmith there. Absolutely superb artist. I loved the Monkees, but also liked all the work that he did. Mike Nesmith produced some great songs. Oh, and weirdly, Middle Banks on the back as well. Obviously, they were running obviously an advert. This is exactly the same advert, the mattress versus. So that is a run through of some of the papers from the legendary year of 1976. And this one was Record Mirror, New Seekers. I love these ones. So whenever I sort of see an old copy of these at various marts and things, well, they do turn up. Papers, 1976, I often pick them up. Always love that. So this one, August 21st, 1976.